Today on YesterKitchen, I am finally going to talk about the deviled egg. Woohoo! And I am going to make a really amazing twist on this classic. You're going to love it. Let's get started. Hey everyone, I'm Jill and this is YesterKitchen. Part food history, part cooking, all delicious. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, so today we are going to talk about the deviled egg. But before I do, I want to let you know that this is a collaboration and I'm so excited to work with my friends over at Chef Adventures. It's a husband and wife. They do really easy, delicious things that are perfect for the family. They do a lot of outdoor cooking. And they're just really great people. So check out their video because we were talking, it's summer. We're like, okay, so what can we do? Because, you know, when I do a collaboration, I want to do a retro version of something. So what can we do that we can do a retro version and a modern version? And we came up with deviled eggs. And I've been wanting to talk about it anyway. So deviled eggs it is. I am going to put their link down in the description and you should really go check them out. They're a new channel and they're really amazing. Okay, deviled eggs. So the first thing we should do is define deviled. There you go. Deviled can also mean very, very finely chopped meat, which is where you get the deviled hams of the world from. But that is not this episode. That's something else. So we're just going to concentrate on these glorious eggs. So deviled eggs, without the deviled name, have shown up in history as early as the 4th century. They showed up in Rome where they took eggs and they kind of marinated them in wine and served them with a spicy sauce. They showed up in China where they were infusing them with tea. But it didn't happen until the 13th century where they were actually starting to get stuffed, and that happened in Spain. But now, let's get to America and where they came from and how it became one of our food icons. And they were called deviled eggs because they used some spicy sauces like Worcestershire. I know it's not really spicy, it was back then. Dijon Mustard, sometimes they put pepper in it, so they had a spicy idea. So they called them deviled eggs. And the name just kind of stuck until now, and it'll probably keep going. So deviled eggs as we know it first started showing up in American cookbooks in around the mid-1800s. But the church was not a fan of the word deviled, as you can imagine. But they were such a popular dish, easy to make, everyone loved them. People always brought them to the potlucks and suppers. So for church purposes, if you were to bring these eggs to one of the meals, you would change the name to one of these three. And then that made everyone feel better. But outside of the churches, people did call them deviled eggs because this is what we know. But deviled eggs were really catapulted into food icon stardom after World War II. I mean, the families were back together. There was disposable income. Oh, the refrigerator was pretty much in every home by now because it wasn't before. And if you want to know more about the refrigerator and how that came to be, check out that. But anyway, people were getting together. There was potlucks, there was barbecues, there were picnics, there were lots of backyard parties. America was entertaining and deviled eggs fit the bill perfectly. Today I am making you a deviled egg without mayo. What? Oh yeah, but it's amazing. A really crazy twist on it and it is called the French fried deviled eggs. Oh yeah, you're gonna love this. So this recipe comes from one of my favorite of all time cookbooks, the Ford Treasury, which I've already done so many episodes out of. It's just, this is just my favorite. This dish is from 1949 and it comes from a restaurant that's no longer there. It was called Emily Shaw's and it's in was in Poundridge, New York. And it closed in 1989, but it was opened in 1939, so it really had a long run and this was on their menu. And it was so popular and I'm about to show you why. Okay, so let's get this party started. The first thing I have is 4 eggs that I have perfectly hard boiled. And I'm gonna put some directions down in the description for you on how to do a perfect hard boiled egg. Because as you can see, there's no gray or green or blue or you know that stuff that happens around the yolk here and they're just perfect every time. So I've gone ahead and hard boiled them. I've cut them in half, they are cold. And I've scooped out all but one because I want to do one for you. So I'm just, you know how to make deviled eggs. This is just an awesome spin. So now we have all of our yolks in here and we're going to do this whole just mashing thing. Okay, now here's the thing. This recipe gave no measurements, so I figured them out for you, but it's totally to taste. It's so customizable, so you can really take these ingredients and take them any direction you want. 1 teaspoon of Worcestershire, 1 teaspoon of Dijon mustard, And like I said, if you like more, use more, less, use less. I have about a half a teaspoon of salt and a quarter teaspoon of pepper. And I went ahead and customized it a bit by using garlic salt. You're gonna need 1 teaspoon of vinegar. Now the recipe did not specify vinegar, so you can use whatever you like. I chose a rice wine vinegar because it's insanely mild and it won't overpower the flavor of the egg. And then the last thing we're gonna need is a teaspoon of oil. So here's the deal with the oil. I went to Tulum, Mexico a couple years ago, and if you haven't gone, you should. It's amazing. Anyway, they have these bottles of homemade chili infused olive oil on every table, and I had to talk to the chef and find out what he did. So I'm gonna put the directions down in the description for you. You can use any oil you want, but I really wanted a kick. I like spicy, so I'm adding 1 teaspoon of my homemade chili oil. And then you wanna just give it a mix and give it a taste. And if you want more, add more. And if, yeah, I know, we're not supposed to do this, but I'm just cooking for my family. Sometimes I get comments from you, but I'm not in a kitchen. I'm not in a commercial kitchen. Okay. So this is all mixed. Now we're going to the next step. Is like, as you can see, since there's oil in there, it does not need mayo. Okay, so there's our first thing. Now, we're gonna take our cute little eggs, and I've got some toothpicks right here. And you're just gonna stuff your eggs. You're gonna actually put them together, so don't overstuff them. Just make sure they go right to the edge. Okay, so here's all our happy little eggs, all stuffed. Now you're just gonna start putting them together. You put 2 together, and you're gonna put a toothpick. Oops, through one side and the other side, so they don't fall apart while you're deep frying them, because oh yes, we are deep frying these guys. And let me tell you something, they are pretty darn amazing. All right, I'm just gonna get these together for you and we'll be right back. Okay, here are our eggs. Aren't they cute? All right, now we're gonna do a whole breading station. Don't worry, you'll be fine. I like to use pie plates. You can use bowls, you can use like a plates with, you know, a little higher rim, whatever you want. You are gonna have 2 eggs. Well, I'll put these over here. 2 eggs, about a 1/2 cup flour, and about a 1/2 cup of breadcrumbs. I make my own breadcrumbs. You can buy the store-bought. I think actually panko breadcrumbs would be nice on this, but you know, I gotta go old school because that's where my brain lives. So I'm just gonna go ahead and scramble up this egg. Okay. And now we have a perfect little egg. And now we're just gonna send these guys through the assembly line. So we're gonna take, put my plate here. We're gonna take 1 egg. You're gonna get messy, so make sure your hands are completely impeccably clean. And we're gonna go from egg to flour, back to egg, and yeah, you gotta kind of pull it and roll it, but don't worry, it'll work. And then into your breadcrumbs. Which, here, how's that? Into your breadcrumbs. Okay. Okay, I'm all done. Your fingers will get breaded too, so I decided to just clean up everything, and now there's so much more room. Okay, so what we've got here is a pot with about 5 cups of canola oil in it. And I am using my candy thermometer because I want it at the right temperature, which is somewhere between 350 and 375. Okay, so here are our beautiful little eggs. And I have a plate with paper towels at the ready because you want to drain them. And all we're gonna do now is make sure my temperature is good. Let's take our cute little eggs and gently lower them in. And you're gonna let these things go for just about 2 minutes, because really all we're getting is the breading cooked through and crunchy and delicious, just like we like it. So we'll be right back. Okay, it's been 2 minutes. Let's take a look. Look at this. I'm going to turn off my oil. The key to not having super oily food is you do want your oil hot. And you also need to be careful. That's the mom in me. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Aren't these beautiful and different? And I'm telling you guys, they're so good and so unusual. Okay, let's put them on a towel to drain, and I will be right back and cut them open. Okay, the first thing you want to do is get your toothpicks out because you don't need anyone biting into those. So they pull out pretty easily. You just kind of gently nudge them, just like that. And here's our eggs. Look how beautiful they are. And they are even more delicious. So let's definitely go take a look. I've got my cute little plate here. I use a serrated knife so you don't kind of mess things up as you're cutting. And you just want to cut across. Uh-oh, we lost our filling, but that's okay. That's how easy we fix it. Look at that. They are so good. This recipe can easily be doubled, tripled, quadrupled, as many as you can fry. And of course, if you have a home deep fryer, all the better. But I like to do this because I know not everybody does. And there's our deviled eggs, our deep fried, French fried, ridiculous, delicious deviled eggs. Now, there's no sauce that was accompanied with the recipe, but I know a lot of people like to dip, so I made one up. Or you can just eat them like this because they're fabulous with nothing, but we are a nation of dippers, aren't we? So here I have a little tarragon dipping sauce. I have 3 tablespoons of mayonnaise, a tablespoon of Dijon, and a tablespoon of dried tarragon. And I just think the tarragon, and it's, now you're getting your mayo, right? I just think the tarragon really will pick up the flavor nicely. But if you have another favorite herb, use it. I think basil would be great. I think marjoram would be great. Use whatever you like. This part is totally made up and optional. And now, put our little sauce here. And serve our cute little eggs. And have everybody go, what? So here are our French fried deviled eggs. You've got to try them. Don't forget to visit my friends Jason and Hot Chef over at Chef Adventures and see what they've cooked up. You're gonna love them. If you'd like to explore more dishes from your childhood or just the past, I invite you to subscribe. I release new videos every Friday. In the meantime, here's some more retro dishes for you. And remember, every dish, even the iconic deviled egg that's been French fried, has a story. I'll see you in the next video.